worst way to die would be.
That's not morbid.
Yeah, seriously, that's kind of spooky, Dan.
Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Cindy Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff. And I really wanted to jump on Monica's turn that time. I don't know why. I really felt like I needed something inside me wanted to go.
I couldn't remember what number I went. Also, weirdly, right before that. So
something in us wanted to swap, maybe.
Well, maybe it was because you were pretending to be Monica.
I was being Monica so much while we were getting set up.
It's also because you're in the middle, I think.
Oh, it just felt natural to go down the line.
Of course.
Pardon me as I scooch
Yeah,
around.
pardon her.
Pardon
me.
scooch.
I'm Monica, actually.
Oh my God.
And I'm Monica Height.
Sounds so believable. Our voices sound so similar, so.
Nobody can know.
Oh, fuck. I'm introducing this on our
I know, I threw her off.
It's
and
a
I'm
strong
Monica
start.
Height, and you'll never guess what movie we're doing this week.
Do you guys know what year it came out? Because
2010.
2010. Okay, all right. Here we are. We're being serious now.
We're being serious
We're
now.
being serious. now, 'cause
Serious.
We're DIY podcasters podcasting in our own space, audio engineering, and the internet went out. There's been a lot of trials and
We've had a lot-
tribulations.
We did a lot of singing.
AJ from Focusrite and I got disconnected, and I'll think of him
Oh my
always.
God.
Shout out to AJ
Do you
from
think he's
Focusrite.
thinking about us?
But we figured it out, and hopefully this will sound even better than the last time I audio engineered it. Hopefully it'll sound way better than the last time I audio engineered it. But anyway, we're here. It's winter. Burr, do you feel a
Ooh.
chill
I said
Oh,
in
burr.
the air?
It's
I have put my
cold in
mittens
here.
on.
Thank God you have your mittens, but
Thank God I've
fingerless
got my
gloves.
mitten. Well, they turn into look.
Okay, good.
How am I gonna do the second one though? That's the real question. How am I gonna do the second one?
With help from a friend.
Yes,
We
please.
decided to pivot, actually, and not do a horror movie this week. We're doing a children's movie. It's actually beloved by children everywhere.
By all children.
There's some names you might have heard before. Anna, maybe Elsa. Do you
Olaf?
ever feel like you just need to Olaf?
Olaf?
The deer, the big deer guy. I don't
Sven.
know. Sven.
I
Adele
just watched
Dazeem
this
is in
movie.
Adele Dazeem. So yes, we were doing the children's movie Frozen. No.
Psych.
Gotcha.
Boom. Roasted.
Before there
Boom
was
roasted.
the Disney classic starring Medina. I am now. I'm literally-
John Travolta did it.
I'm me and John Travolta have a lot in common. Before Idina Menzel, there was Frozen 2010,
10.
a horror movie that made me scream so much, made
Yep.
me slap Chelsea like 45
There's a lot of
times on her
hiding.
I
body.
burrowed myself into Chelsea.
I was really brave. I didn't look away for 1 second, but these little scaredy cat bitches were tucking in for sure.
There's just certain things that I don't want to look at.
Yeah.
This had all of those things. For
Yeah.
Every
me.
single one of them.
And it was horrific. But this came out a full 3 years before the Disney classic.
Disney copied them.
Yeah,
I think.
Disney
Yeah,
actually
they
jocked
were
their
like-
swag.
That is a sexy name. What if something good happened to the people in the movie instead? That'd be a nice, very similar plot
Mhm.
wise. Let me give you the IMDb log line so you can understand. 3 skiers stranded on a chairlift are forced to make life or death choices, which prove more perilous than staying put and freezing to death. So very similar to the story of Frozen 2013.
Incredibly
Yes.
similar.
Don't you agree? Yeah,
Oh my
it's so
goodness.
weird.
They
It's
had
very
to make
weird.
life or death choices in that movie.
Of course.
Couldn't stay put.
Okay.
She had to go build her ice castle.
She had to leave. She had to build her ice
She had to let it go, okay?
Yeah, she had to have her Fortress of Solitude. It's very important. It's very similar.
Were there
to
wolves
the
in that
Thieves.
movie?
No, it's been a while.
I just watched
there
it.
must
It's been a while.
be
I don't remember.
A wolf, perhaps.
Is there like an ice wolf? Probably.
Probably.
I hope there's a wolf. There needs to be a wolf. But anyway, okay, let's be serious. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
We're not going to do the Disney classic.
We should at some point. I love that movie.
We can. We
It's
can.
Fifth Tuesday this month, but I had other suggestions.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're doing this Frozen, and I have heard about this movie for about 10 to trillion years because, as I said in the end of last episode, one time my friend told me every second of the entire plot after coming home from a snow trip.
Thank
on
God
a
I wasn't
long
on the
car
way
ride.
to the snow trip. Am I right?
If I had seen this movie before I tried skiing / snowboarding the several times I have tried it and will never be doing again, by the way.
After this movie, Monica said, no, thank you.
I decided that before this movie, but then I
But now
saw this
she's
movie
really
and I
doubled
was
down.
like,
Yeah.
I've already given you exhibit A, B, and C in my life.
This is the
This is
rest of the
Exhibit D.
alphabet.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, it's a movie that I have a panic attack just when I ski. I've had many panic attacks.
It's really
just
easy
when
to
I
be on the
ski
mountain and be like, people die.
and it's
My
normal.
first panic attack
People
ever
die
happened
sometimes.
learning how to ski, and I was like 10, and I have never done it ever again.
Yeah, no,
Scary.
I
It's
agree
spooky.
with you. Spookies, if you're interested in après ski, that's when you dress up real cute in snow bunny suit and you don't go on the snow. Maybe you can sled. You don't ski, you don't snowboard. You just get drunk with me and Sydney in the bar.
That's exactly my
Chelsea,
kind of
you're
ski
also
trip
welcome
that
to
I
come
want to
as
do.
well.
I do ski a little, so
So she'll be out shredding.
Yeah,
and
shredding
we'll be
snow.
We'll
in
be
the bar, knocking back shots.
we'll be doing
brewskis.
a different kind of skiing.
Oh my god.
A brew skiing.
Yes,
okay.
exactly. A brew skiing. Thank you so much. But yeah, this movie, like, if you're on the fence about skiing or snowboarding, I'm just gonna say, don't watch it.
Don't watch this.
Just stop
Okay.
now.
Don't do it.
The skiing and the snowboarding was not the problem in the movie. The breaking the rules and looking for exceptions was the problem in the movie.
And gross negligence from the staff.
Yes, but that went along with the breaking the rules, you know? Like,
And we all know that Chelsea does not like to break the rules.
Well, don't
Yeah.
you know that Chelsea loves to victim blame and shame?
I'm just saying there are like 1,000 ways that you can go skiing and not end up in this situation.
I don't
but
know.
this could happen.
It could.
It-
Now I
I
know.
guess
Now
it
that I've seen
could.
this, I know that it's
It
an
could
option.
absolutely happen.
That's true, actually. They did this setup really, really well in this movie to explain
How
the
it
circumstances
happens.
came to be. Yeah. And I bet it is because writer-director Adam Green, so he did the both of it on here.
Mhm.
But apparently he had never been skiing before, and he has a fear of heights. So I imagine that this is something that he's just like dedicated a lot of time to
And thinking
about
about.
as like a horrifying scenario that could happen to someone.
Wait, he's never done it?
Yeah,
Love that.
I
Love
think that's
that.
what it said in IMDb
Love
trivia.
that. No, I didn't read anything
Mhm.
about this, so I'm just
We're going on
fucking
Right.
vibes.
ball.
Yeah.
is the theme of the day.
But I imagine this is just like one of his recurring nightmares. And so he's just dedicated a lot of time to being like, and this could go wrong, and this could go wrong, and this could go wrong, and then you're stuck up there.
Honestly, I
Um,
think about that quite frequently.
Oh
yeah,
So-
yeah.
There's so much could go wrong, and every single thing that could go wrong does go wrong for these young college co-eds.
Mhm.
These
Okay.
young co-eds.
Can I say who I think each one of us would be in this movie?
Fine.
That was
Yes.
scary.
Okay. So we have 3 people. There's a couple, which are Parker, a girl, and Dan, a boy.
Uh-huh.
And then you have Joe, a boy, who is Dan's best friend from childhood. And then Joe and Parker have some like beef because everybody's in love with Dan, basically. Right?
That's the vibe. Yeah.
That is absolutely the vibe.
oh.
so,
oh God. Okay. Well, now you're making it
Uh-oh.
like that.
But
Uh-oh.
here's what I think.
Okay.
I think Monica would be Dan, unfortunately.
That's great because it means you're both in love with me.
But here's
You know how things go for Dan in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be Joe.
Oh my
And
God,
Chelsea would be
okay.
Parker.
Stop.
Like that is
Oh.
unfortunately
Oh
how
my God.
Well, it's okay, that's
we say
fair.
unfortunately because
For-
we will talk
yeah,
about how this
unfortunately
movie
for
goes.
You, baby.
But if you watch the movie, you'll be like, yeah, City's right. City's absolutely right. This is
slay.
exactly what would happen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd be that stupid because of my fear of compound fractures. I already have. We found out today that has not gone away, and I am still incredibly terrified of that. I watched. What was that fucking patriotic movie? Not Top Gun with Tom Cruise, like Born in the USA or American Man or something. I'm gonna look it up in a second. Spoiler alert: somebody gets a compound fracture in that
Oh
movie.
no,
I
compound
watched
fracture.
it in 12th grade. It really fucking stuck with me. I never got over it. Bones shouldn't come out. They shouldn't.
Bones should not come
They
out.
shouldn't come out.
This one was a jiggly bone too.
very jiggly.
The marrow maybe was squirting out.
I watched a
Oh my
lot
God.
of
I wish you had said anything else besides the marrow.
I watched a lot of videos in early internet time
Uh-huh.
of like skateboarders breaking their legs.
Yeah, of course you
And
did.
it has traumatized me. And so I was just sitting there hiding in like to Chelsea's neck, being like,
That's why I'm Parker, because I'm the bravest.
yeah, Chelsea's so brave.
No, I'm so brave. I literally killed myself. Born
You're
on the 4th
dumb.
of July.
Ah.
Born on the 4th of July. That's the
But
name of the
here's my
movie.
thing. Monica would absolutely, of all of us, would be the one to be like, I could jump.
I
I could
could
do
jump.
it. Like, I could do it. Like, it's not that far. Like,
you.
I could do it. She's an Aries. She's headstrong. She's gonna do it.
That okay, I like agree with you a little bit. It's just the part where it's jumping and like I fall down all the time.
Oh, she just fall off?
Yeah. She would just go, "Bleh."
I don't know. I just think like the landing on his
three of
legs and
us.
all of that stuff. I don't know.
We could like look, they had so many tools that they didn't use in this movie, okay? I feel like they could have rigamajigged the ski poles up to at least lower himself down a little further, you know? Like find some way to be like dangling a little you're dangling from the bottom of the chair. Okay, you're 6 feet lower than you were when you were dropping from the seat of it. Now,
True.
if they're holding the poles and you're dangling from the bottom of the poles, you're like 12 feet closer to the ground. That's a much more survivable drop.
This is not 6
He
feet.
did survive
No.
the drop, but
He broke both of his legs, unfortunately.
real bad.
He did break his legs really bad. Well, I guess we've jumped to the crux
We
of
can
the
talk about
horror,
this
but I
and that.
guess we should talk about the beginning a little bit just to set the scene. You know, we already talked about the dynamics, the social dynamics.
Yes.
Dan and Joe, was that his name?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Joe
Dan and
Lynch.
Joe. They really, really love to go snowboarding together. It's
As
their
bros.
special bro time. But, you know, Parker's in the picture now and he's monopolizing all of Dan's time.
And
Just last
Joe is
week,
very jealous.
Dan only watched football for 10 minutes before he left. Can you believe that?
Crazy.
Football is longer than
That's
10
Football doesn't
minutes.
last
What about
10 minutes.
bro code?
What about, you know what? I'm always thinking about that. And obviously, Dan isn't. One thing going for Dan, besides the fact that he's cute, it's that he's cute and he looks specifically like Troy Bolton
Yes,
from
he does.
High School Musical. So that was really nice. So that's another reason why I'm okay with being Dan because I love
Sexy,
Troy
hottie,
Bolton.
sexy. Yeah.
Uh-huh, very sexy, very sexy. I also think though he's played by Kevin Zegers, by the way. Dan is, but Sean Ashmore I think is very cute.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's really
he's
cute. too.
incredibly
He's
cute.
super cute, and I also just like think it was a really good idea for them to cast someone with beautiful blue eyes.
Ah, yeah.
Frozen winter tundra.
So as he gets icier and icier throughout, his eyes are like pow.
It's
very
it's like
powerful
as he's
visually.
dying, your eyes are just so ice ocean blue. Did
Is
you
that
know
why
that?
you made yourself Joe? Because of your eyes are very blue right now. Maybe it's the blue suitcase.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you like our beautiful DIY setup? This is part of the spookiness of it. These
We're
these
a
suitcases-
traveling podcast crew.
These are
and
dead
we pack
people's
our
suitcases.
mics up
Yeah.
into these dead people's suitcases, and then we travel and we podcast.
We love dead people's things.
I have a lot of them in here.
So do I.
But yeah, so I think from the very beginning, it's very clear though that Joe is psychosexually in love with Dan. You know, they
He
try to-
absolutely
he
is.
really is. You know, I know we always say that, but he is. He's very upset. He wants more time with his bro. They've been friends since Dan was a
Since
little
he was a fat little
loser.
kid. Oh my god, the way they
There's-
drag him.
He's
is
dead, and they're
so-
like, "Let's be mean to my."
Remember
best
when he
friend."
was a fat ass, fat little kid, fat.
Fat. They use the
They
R
say
word
the R
in this
word.
one, so the R word's coming back as we said.
No,
The R word's back, baby. You've heard it here.
Oh
We
my
were saying
god.
horrible things while we watched this movie. Well, mostly I started it, so sorry. Cancel it again.
Cancel.
Classic Monica.
That's why I die first. But yeah, I mean, I also just really love the beginning where like her and Parker's boyfriend and the best friend that hates her both you know, are like, please use your lady body to get us free things.
Use your sexy lady feminine wiles to go
Yeah.
flirt and get us free ski tickets.
Show off
well,
your
not free, but
your little
discounted.
lacy cami, which is so
Your
2010.
2010 lacy
The
cami,
lacy
yeah.
cami. I
Your
wore those
camisole.
all the
Right?
time. I loved that. I thought that was
I should have
brilliant.
worn one today, but
Wow.
I got dressed before we watched the movie, so
How
You
was she to
couldn't have
know?
known. You couldn't have known.
I only knew winter, and so I was able to mini prepare, but that was it.
I love that you have a spooky beanie. You're ready
Thank
for
you.
anything.
Thank you. I almost wore my other beanie that I got when we were in Alabama. Bass Pro, but I was like, well, this one's spooky. So
We love a good spooky.
You gotta do
beanie.
the neon orange one.
the neon orange one that says redhead.
Love that. Love that for you.
More of a pink head, but I got one for my 2 redhead friends.
Kinky.
I think for me with this movie, like I said, I've heard about it for so long, and I thought it was gonna just be like stupid and bad because like I hadn't heard a lot about it. And then of course IndieWire, like I said, posted and was like, "It's good," and I was like, "Oh, it's actually good."
You're like, oh, wow.
I heard
good.
I heard somebody say that it's good, so maybe we should do it. We can just go in blind. I don't like to just go in blind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but if
having none
IndieWire
of us
says
seen
it's
it.
good,
But
then
if
it's
IndieWire
good.
says it's good,
If one person said it's good, then at least one person had a good time. Like no one has
Yeah.
ever said they had a good time with Santa's sleigh.
False.
What do you mean?
That was me.
Ooh, what do you mean?
My guy Goldberg. We really tapped into the WWE audience by doing that, by the way.
I think
Good.
It's
I
really
love the
nice.
they were so welcoming and receptive.
They're like,
Listen, they appreciate anybody who is fans of Mannheim and his steamroller. Okay.
oh my god, yeah, we love Mannheim and his steamroller. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, but this movie had so many like crossover themes to other movies from this era that we love that I wasn't expecting, but makes a lot of sense. First of all, I don't know who the director of 47 Meters Down is, or The Fall, or 47 Meter Down Uncaged, or who the producers are, but this fucking walked so that shit could run. Like 100%. This is like, what?
I had we have all obviously we did The Descent on here. Obviously we did 47 Meters Down, 47 Meters Down Uncaged. We also watched The Descent 2 in fall last time that Sydney was in town. And I went through my notes app with them where I have like a bunch of the tropes that those movies all share throughout them. We should go through them and see how many this movie also has.
Oh yeah, we should.
We totally should. It's super interesting. But another thing I thought that was similar to it too was it was definitely in those same veins. Like I kept thinking like spoiler alerts for some of the movies in that. So if you don't
Genre.
want to hear
family.
in that family, I was like waiting for the hallucination part to start.
Yep, yeah.
Like when is she gonna start having a beautiful hallucination
Nation.
of being saved? But they didn't do that in this one.
That
so
we
that's
know of.
good.
It's just like The Descent because the alternate ending and the regular ending that was supposed to not be the ending.
We didn't watch to the end of the credits too. There could have been an after credit scene.
True. Oh my god.
Wow.
Post-credits.
Wow, us canceled for not really doing
Not
our
doing
We
our
really
due
didn't
diligence.
commit. Oh my
It's
God.
wrong of us.
We had to watch the trailer for what? Oh,
The-
12
the
feet.
12
deep
feet sisters trapped. 12 feet deep sisters trapped in the whatever. And then also the desert one. What
Oh,
was
yeah.
that called?
With Gretchen Wieners in it. Oh my
Lacey
God.
Chabert. Hallmark Christmas movie queen,
Queen.
Lacey Chabert.
There's so many good like stuck horror movies. We were talking about doing stuck
Stuck
month,
month. Stucktober.
but that could get us on the wrong side of the
Aug-
internet
Aug
really quick.
stuck.
Right?
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know,
I've-
you know.
I've heard.
I know about it. You don't want to get there.
Sometimes you just get stuck and you need help.
Sometimes
okay?
you get stuck on the wrong corner of the internet.
Sometimes you just get a little stuck.
Stuck in the stuck corner.
Maybe
Sometimes you get stuck in your like what? It's like your washing machine or under the bed.
That's what
yeah, I
happens,
hate it
right?
when that happens, and then put like
Somebody's got
things
to help
just
you
start
get
happening.
Your
We're
pussy's just
we're talking
out.
about stuck porn is what we're talking about.
Pussy just out.
Should we make the title of this episode stuck porn so then we can get all the horny people clicking on our YouTube video? Like the time that we
Yeah,
did
They'll
the
click away.
It doesn't matter. It's still a click.
Sydney, get stuck somewhere really fast.
what was
oh, no,
it?
Help! I'm
Black
stuck.
Creature of the Black Lagoon was named Rib for Your Pleasure. We got a lot of views for that one. The Bram Stoker's Dracula one was called like
butt
distur-
sex. Doing
It was not called butt
sex.
sex. It was called like disturbing, like sexy fantasy. Remember, like hot, sexy.
Oh, and it's like all the people who are
This
like me looking for their
fantasy.
little ASMR
Yeah.
bedtime story.
And that one got like 400 clicks because people thought it was going to be porn, and then it was just us, not even our faces. It was just audio. So that'll be the title for this one. The
Perfect.
SEO is going to go crazy.
Yeah.
The SEO is going to go wild.
I love catfishing people on the internet.
I'll put that on the secret hashtags on YouTube.
There we go. There we
You
go.
know, it's gonna go really well. But yeah, I also think this movie had a lot of similar DNA with like the Final Destination movies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
like with this style of how it was filmed. Though there are some really beautiful shots with this too. Like wherever they filmed this,
Erotic Nightmare.
Erotic Nightmare. That was the name of the
Yeah.
Bram Stoker's episode. Yeah, something sexy. I knew it was something good. We should put erotic in every single one of our titles.
Here's the thing: we do have incredible, palpable erotic energy, so it's not a
Especially for the
lie.
live
Erotic stuck
episodes.
porn. That's the name of this one.
Erotic stuck porn in the snow.
Snowy
Skiing gone wrong.
Sisters stuck.
Skiing gone wrong. Stuck porn. Snow bunnies.
Snow Bunny's a great one.
Anyway.
Anyway,
I hope no
what
one
were
I
we
know
talking
listens to this.
I
It's
recently
2020.
told my friend who's a rabbi about our podcast. So
It's okay. We have what? A preacher?
I told her
Yeah,
it was very
Yeah, we have a
reverent, and
reverend.
she said it was fine.
Shout
so.
out Rev Andy. If you're listening, I'm so sorry.
I'm not.
But yeah, I liked the DNA with Final Destination. That was really fun. There's like for example, Emma Bell, who plays Parker, looks exactly like AJ Cook,
She does.
who's in the that's the second
The
one,
second
right?
Final
The second
Destination.
one. And also just like certain elements where like things were just like slowly collapsing in on themselves. There's no
The
eerie-
screw slowly
the screw unwinding,
Oh.
that sort of a thing. So
This series of events that put them in the situation they were in.
yeah,
all
totally.
the things that had to line up perfectly for this to happen.
Totally. I mean, it did really suck. Like, is that a thing with ski resorts? Like, I don't know how they'd stay open if they're not open every day.
I
But,
was
like,
talking
they
about
don't
this
have
with
to-
my friend Brianna, who had seen this movie
Yeah.
before.
Because this one is only open for the weekends, just
Yeah.
to be clear.
Yeah, and she also was like, I don't know how that would work, and she skis a lot, so I have to imagine it's not very popular if it is a thing. I could see it being near like the end or the beginning of this season, maybe before things are like in full swing, or after they've been in full swing.
Also, like, that kind of adds to the fact that this is sort of like a bootleg resort.
Yeah,
Maybe it's one like the ones in like there's some in like Angeles National Forest where like they get snow once every like 45 years because it's so low elevation. And so they run only at that time. I'm not saying those ones are bad. Don't come for me, Angeles National Forest skiers or whatever. I don't fucking know. But like one that's not like always in session, so that's
Mhm.
why it's kind of shitty.
one that has to like make their own snow a lot. You know, they're not going to make their own snow all week long. That sounds expensive.
Yeah.
Because they're saying like, oh, the pizza fucking sucks. Like,
Oh, it's
honestly,
cardboard pizza.
ski resort food sucks so bad 90% of the time. That's another reason.
That's why I need you not to do opera ski and stay in the lodge and make soup. But you got mad at me when I suggested that last
I'm not
time.
gonna stay home and cook.
But you love
so
to
hard to
do
cook at
that.
elevation.
Oh my god. I can't believe she's gonna make me eat cardboard pizza. Oh, I know why you're thinking that Emma Bell looks familiar and has a connection to the Final Destination franchise. Also, it's because she was in Final Destination 5.
Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's Molly in
She's
Final
Molly.
Destination 5.
Yeah, I just went to her page.
which is the girlfriend in 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. That was such a good one. I love that one.
Yeah, I
can't
like that
wait
one
for
too.
6. Yeah, I mean the setup just does really suck. They're trying to get their one last run in, and like, what's her name? Parker had flirted with this guy before to get the discount, and then he finally lets them go up.
But he doesn't even give the full discount. She has to give all $100, and then her boyfriend is so butthurt about it.
Yeah, he's
Oh
like,
my
you didn't
God.
get change. And Joe is like, I would have gotten change. Okay.
Yeah, because Joe's competing with Parker for Dan's affections.
Yeah. He's there. He's such a bad boyfriend.
The dynamics of bestie's boyfriend and boyfriend's bestie are so complicated sometimes.
This is not what happened when James, Admin, and I went skiing, by the way. We had a lovely time.
Sometimes you really hit
but
it off.
They did leave me to be
Yeah.
on my own, so
Yeah.
that's fine. I wouldn't have had to go on the ski lift and get stuck and die, so
That
whatever.
could have been on them, actually.
Yeah.
They could have done it.
And also, like, that wasn't your first hang with them. You know what I mean? So when it's like, we're just all getting to know each other, that's a really complicated dynamic to
Let's
then
do
put
an
adventure
extreme
sports
sport.
in.
Yeah. I always love to add an
Adventure
extreme
sports,
sport.
extreme weather,
Extreme friendship.
trying to
Extreme.
break rules and get special accommodations, and then being like, Parker, actually, this is your responsibility. And I'm mad even when you accomplished the task. Even when you accomplish a task,
Well, that's because she didn't do it right.
she did do it right.
She got a discount.
He couldn't have done it at all. So
Exactly.
he should be glad for the discount. Cheaper than it would have been.
He would have had to get down on his knees to get that discount. So, you know what? She did it all just with her finesse. And
And her lacy
Bum to
camisole.
Her lacy camisole. And she's like, me and my girlfriends, blah, blah, blah. And then they came up, and then the two guys came up behind her, and he was like, really? The ski lift guy. And she's like, sorry.
The real killer in this movie, you said that it's them being irresponsible. Okay, partially, but not really that much, because the guy who was in charge let them go. They wanted to do one last run because they hadn't gotten to do very much because Parker can't snowboard for shit. She falls down for like 20 minutes.
Which
in the movie.
honestly is so relatable.
Oh yeah, I just scooted on my butt when I went snowboarding, and then
I'm
I
really
got ejected
anti-snowboard.
from the mountain by a ski-doo patrolman. He was like, "You gotta go." Like I had been practicing all day to go down a normal slope, and my friend thought I was good enough. We got up to the top. It was me and my friend Jeremy. He had never skied before, and he had a sprained ankle. We had two different ideas about this, and our friend Ryan knew what he was doing. We had two different ideas. Jeremy was like, I'm gonna fucking go. Fuck it, we ball. Again, that's the phrase of the day. And he just like starts going, goes to the side, hits a snow embankment, flies in the air, misses a tree by 2 inches, and lands in a creek.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, I
like a
see
wet
that
creek
happening.
or like a dry,
Like a wet
snowy-
creek. It was like melting the snow. Like
That's
like
really
it
bad.
was small. It was a small creek, but still. So he
Mhm.
fucked it. I see that, sit on my ass, and I start scooting towards him. Ryan's trying to go slow on the snowboard, which is really hard to do. So the ski patrol guys like show up on the fucking ski-doo, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!
You guys do not belong.
You're not going down." And they
Kicked
brought us
out.
back up to the top of the mountain and put us back down the vernacular because it was a vernacular one instead of a
Yeah.
ski lift one. It's
That's-
like a vernacular is like you seen Grand Budapest Hotel. It's like a cart that's on like a track that goes up the mountain.
Yeah.
Or it can be
Oh.
like attached like a ski-doo. You're not sitting in the elements though. It's like a little
It's like
Kinda
a
like
gondola.
yeah,
Okay.
like a gondola. Yeah. Super similar to that. So they sent us back down.
Wow.
It was for the best.
Wow.
It was for the best. See,
Sometimes you have to retreat.
sometimes you just need to not do it, and that's what they should have done. They should have just not done it, but they wanted to go one more time. That guy let them go. The real culprit, back to my point that I was trying to make a million years ago and I interrupted myself, was the management of this company,
Yeah.
because whatever the fuck that guy's name was asked 2 months ago to take next weekend off to go to his brother's bachelor party, which is an important rite of passage.
Especially because he's the best man.
And they were trying to fuck him over and take that away from him. So, of course, he had to go run and scream at his boss and leave immediately.
Mm-hmm. It was not fair. It was not right. He did his best to pass on the information that he could to the man who came to relieve him, who may or may not have been named Rifkin. I don't really know these individual men's names, but I read
It's
some of
not
them on the
important.
cast and on IMDb trivia.
Oh, remember Rifkin?
You know, remember
You know
Rifkin? They
Rifkin?
for sure said his
Rifkin.
name in the movie. But the ski lift guy tried to be like, okay, there are 3 more coming down. I just sent them up. But the problem was that there were 3 additional people coming down the mountain that the ski lift guy didn't know about, I guess. And he didn't say, like, they're on after the final flag, because that was one of the details. They, like, put
The final
the flag on the court to say, like, this is the last chair coming up, going around. Nobody is on after this one. And he sent it up ahead of them because he hadn't agreed to let them on yet. And then he let them on, and he said to the guy replacing him, there's 3 more coming down. 3 more came down, and that guy really had to piss. And the other guy walking by, who may or may not have actually been Rifkin, he said, fuck you. You, that's not my job. And so he, like, thought that those 3, and he was just too desperate to pee, so he had to run.
When nature
and
calls, you have
he just
to
shut
answer.
everything down. Yeah.
Oh man, it's just like that part. It's not the same thing, but it just like watching all of the like things slot in the place to get them stuck felt very Final Destination-y to me.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like the spirit of Tony Todd AKA
There's no
death.
spooky like wind putting things in
Yeah.
motion.
There's
But-
just real wind later
Yeah.
that's filled with shards of ice.
Well, and they talked about that too. They were like, "Can we go up one more time?" And he was like, "No, weather's coming in."
Yeah. Oh my
Mhm.
And they
God.
were like, "Please, please, please, sir, just
We'll be
one
so
more,
quick.
just one more run." That's why I'm saying they pushed it. He
Greedy.
tried to say no.
Totally.
Greedy little biatches.
Yeah, and another thing I do think was really fun, like adding to the dread, is because like you know what's coming with this movie. Like if you've seen the trailer or seen the
If
or
you know
read
the
the
premise at
IMDb
all,
log line,
yeah.
you know they're gonna get stuck up there. They know you go in looking for the stuck porn aspect of this film, of course.
Stuck porn.
Um, and so like it's just so horrible that part, like creating dread. It does a good job creating dread when they're sitting up there going on the ski-doo for this last run. It's not called a ski-doo.
The ski-doo.
I'm so sorry. What is it called? Ski lift.
It's a ski-doo now.
And they're just talking about like, oh, what are the worst fucking ways to die?
What are the worst ways to die?
And you're like, you're about to experience one, buddy.
The
Like,
correct answer is drowning.
like what was it? The Scarlax
The Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit or whatever.
Don't understand the reference. Well, don't tell me.
I think it's a pit and they get eaten.
I don't know.
They said you'll be digested in it for 1,000 years, and that was what was horrifying to them about it. But
That's so many
you
years.
said earlier that there are monsters in there, and
I
I,
don't
didn't know
know.
if that was a guess you had or knowledge that you had.
I don't know.
Well,
You're being eaten regardless.
you're being digested for
You're being
1,000 years.
digested.
That's for sure what they said in the movie.
So that was a little foreshadowing of things to come.
People
But they
do
were
be
also,
getting
like-
digested.
yeah, they were like, getting eaten by sharks and knowing it's coming would be so scary.
Yeah.
Which is a little sprinkle of foreshadowing as well.
Yeah.
Sprinkle,
And then she was
sprinkle.
like, hey, remember when 9/11 happened?
"Oh yeah, we got some
And we
great
watched
9/11
footage of
reference."
9/11 for 3 days. And those people didn't want to burn to death in the Twin Towers on 9/11. So
11.
they jumped out to their deaths instead because jumping was the better alternative. Yeah, that was
It
also a
all
little
goes back
sprinkle
to
of
9/11.
foreshadowing.
Yeah. Yeah, like that I wasn't expecting that from this movie, for the dialogue to be like kind of good and for like the
Mhm.
shots to be good, like we said before. It was really pretty because the setting's so pretty. They did a good job, like just, oh my god, the shot that gave me fucking chills before shit got really bad was when they're on the ski lift, not the ski-doo. I'm learning.
They're on the
And
ski-doo.
they're on the ski-doo and they're like just joking around. It's stopped already, and they're like, oh, when is this gonna open again? This needs to open, blah blah blah. And like Joe's like, oh, don't worry, like I've been stuck for 25 minutes. This is nothing, blah blah blah. And you just from afar see one light
Yeah.
after another go off. That was so. That
And the
was a
lights
really
are going
good
off
shot.
behind them,
Yes.
so they can't see the lights
Oh,
going
that
off.
was that was so creepy. And like, yeah, they do a good job of like doing the like ominous, creepy, the psychological horror, and then fucking like
Body horror.
grotesque body horror. So this really has a fucking lot
All that you
going on.
need.
Yeah, seriously.
Got a lot of good stuff.
It's got a lot of good stuff. I was fucking surprised and impressed. But yeah, it's just also interesting, the psychological aspect when they start like immediately almost going at each other.
Yes.
Too.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's so
they're
interesting to
scared.
see the way they're all coping too. Because Joe
Yeah.
is up there being like, "Okay, top 3 breakfast cereals."
Yeah,
go. Like,
Right.
He's trying so hard to be like, "Let's stay entertained. Let's have something to talk about."
He's also
maybe.
trying
Let's
to piss so
distract
bad.
ourselves." Yeah, he has to pee. And Parker's just over there being like, "My dog is alone, and
She's
we're
gonna think that I've
die up here."
abandoned
Yeah,
her.
she's immediately going to despair, which I get.
Fair.
I understand.
And Dan is just like pissy.
Dan is
Yeah.
not
He is
having it
moody.
at all.
Not
Yeah.
having it.
He has been not having it with her all day a little bit. So
Yeah. Oh.
they had that really interesting conversation in the ski lodge over their pizza lunch earlier when they were talking about like it was just Joe and Dan, and Joe was like, "Oh, we've had to watch Parker fall on her butt all day and she's slowing us down and blah, why'd you bring her, blah blah blah." And then Parker like walks up behind him and then he has to be like, "You missed the part where I was saying I'm so glad
And
you're,
you're here. I was
Yeah.
the one who actually
We're
wanted
having
you to
so
be
much
here.
Fun. That's what I said a moment ago."
But here's my thing too, as like a would-be girlfriend who didn't know how to ski.
Yeah.
Like I would have been. She even offered to be like, "Y'all go,
Yes.
and I will stay behind."
Yeah.
okay, that's totally fine with me because I'm bad. I
Yeah.
know that I'm slowing you down. Thank you for putting in the time and effort watching me fall on my ass.
Yeah, like just go and actually do it because she's still gonna fall on her ass the whole way down this
Down,
time
yeah.
too, and it's night. Also, night skiing shouldn't exist.
Night skiing should be
This
illegal.
is my platform. Many people won't like this, but night skiing is bad and wrong and horrific.
Night skiing is now illegal.
hmm
Yeah, I'm like taking things away with my platform. Sydney's giving you opium and makeout spots, and I'm like, let me
Orgies.
protect you from yourself, you fucking psychopath. Oh, we forgot to talk about Shannon. Just really quickly, I did like the little Shannon bit with this, which
Yeah.
is the girl that Joe tries to.
He's like
hit out on.
helping
Yeah,
because her ski bindings are loose,
They're
and then
loose.
we get a classic douchebag Ryan moment.
Classic douchebag
Classic
Ryan.
douchebag named Brian moment. This movie
Seriously.
knows.
they know. They really do know. We've got only one good potential Ryan. Wait, what was the one good one who's for sure good?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is the for sure good, and then we have
A
Ryan,
new friend.
a new Ryan listener who is very lovely, and he's
Very
doing
talented.
a lot for Ryan Kind. So shouts out to you, Ryan.
He's on the potential fence
Yeah,
right now, so
But Sydney's
He's winning us
still-
over for now.
He's Chelsea and I are fully on board. Sydney has a lot of baggage with
Sure,
Ryan,
sure,
so
sure,
you
sure.
know we still love you, Ryan. But I really liked the little Shannon bit and the phone number where you're trying to
Yeah.
memorize the phone number. I really thought that was going to come back
I
into
thought it was
play.
gonna, but I liked that it was just its thing too.
Yeah, and something for him to focus on during
Uh-huh.
his strife or whatever.
Are you
like,
ready to be
and how-
impressed?
Uh-huh.
830-7860.
wow. What's
No
the area
area
code?
code.
They
It
didn't
was
say
no
one. They
area
didn't say
code.
Oh.
It was definitely
Somewhere in Vermont.
818.
I don't. Oh, for sure 818. Yeah.
818, of course.
Why didn't I wear my 818 earrings for this episode?
Exactly. It's because they're too big. I made
Mm.
them really big. Sorry.
I like them. I've
I
worn
ma-
them before.
I made her earrings and that said 818 and they're fucking ginormous.
They slay though.
Slay.
But yeah,
Slay.
that was a little fun thing for him to focus on like later on, but things were already pretty bad at that point. But shit hits the fan so fucking fast because like it's night.
And it's like really cold.
It's really cold. An ice storm comes in. It's like
Yeah.
slicing their face. It's like fucking hail. That shit is
That
hard.
hurts.
My friend, her whole house got destroyed by hail in Texas this year.
Ooh.
It like went through her roof and
Yeah.
totaled 2 of her cars.
Oh shit.
I was
Mhm.
able to get a new roof on my house because it had hail damage, and therefore insurance was able to give me a new 30-year roof when I bought my house.
Insurance
Wow.
slay.
So I didn't have to pay the 15 grand. It only cost the people that I bought the house like
Do you have to-
$2,500.
Do you
They
have
took
like
it out of
hail
the whatever.
insurance?
It's like included in the insurance.
Okay, yeah. Like,
Let's
you
talk
don't
about
think-
homeowners insurance.
You don't think you're
Sidebar.
gonna need a hail policy, but
Bitches, you do.
It
with-
hails in Los Angeles sometimes too.
with climate change, anything's possible, y'all.
It snowed in Los Angeles. But
It did.
It
It's like
hailed.
once every 25 years you'll get a little snow in Los
You'll
Angeles.
get a little bit.
It
of
hailed
hail.
in Alabama recently. We had 2 tornadoes, freak December tornadoes, like
Love.
great,
Love.
lovely. And it started hailing, and I'm like sitting on my porch like a psychopath, being like,
Oh my god, go inside, Queen.
"Well, I wanted to be like, are you gonna fuck up my car? Yes or no?"
You
Keep an
want to
eyes
watch
out.
it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's gonna happen, I need to
Want
see
the
it.
heartbreak experience personally firsthand in the moment.
Well, I needed to know in case I didn't need to like grab my tarp and like wrap up it so it didn't damage it even more.
What if there had been a tornado in this movie while they're up on the
Oh my
stage?
god, could you imagine?
They would have died faster, so it probably would have been
Mhm.
better.
Honestly,
Honestly,
yeah.
An earthquake just like shits the thing loose.
They just fall to their deaths immediately.
I was shocked that like with the little like the ski-doo that they were on didn't rock more when the hail was like hitting them. You know what I mean? Because like that would be windy.
so
And
totally.
so like I'm shocked it wasn't like because that would have been even scarier.
And it's also, oh my god, like just having to like confront frostbite in this movie as a viewer.
Yeah.
Frostbite is so horrific because like even before shit goes down with Dan, like Parker loses
On her
her
little cheek,
glove.
too.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
she starts getting it on her face just from the elements in general because her face isn't as protected as the boys, I guess. I don't know. And then she loses her mitten because she's trying to smoke her ciggy.
Dumb.
That leads to really bad shit. It's just like no matter what, like they're so fucking fucked. They're so fucked. Also, let's just talk about her kidneys for a second. She held her
Oh, yeah.
pee for like
A
whole
day.
Really, really long.
So she's gonna have kidney damage at the end of this. Don't hold your pee, y'all.
Just pee your pants immediately. I told her to, but she didn't listen.
She
Well, it
finally
would've
does listen.
frozen. I think it would have frozen, and that would have been pretty bad in the night. When
She should have
peed in the
peed
day,
on her hand when it was frozen to the pole.
How would she?
Double solution.
How would she have like maneuvered?
I'd show you, but I'm stuck behind this luggage.
Not the luggage.
it's not that kind of episode.
Go piss, girl.
That's why she needed a fucking Shiwi. We're not sponsored by Shiwi.
Shiwi sponsor us immediately.
Shiwi sponsor us. It's a little funnel that you could pee in, so you can pee standing up.
Have you used one?
piss
I
like
have
a
one,
man.
and I have tried to use it, but my body.
Pee on yourself every time.
I literally practiced in the shower. I practiced in the shower so I could use it. We go sailing, so that I tried to like pee,
You
off
pee over the side of the boat. Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to hang your naked ass off.
Which
the
is
side
what
of the
she would have
boat,
had
which
to
is
do on
what
the
I have
ski
done
lift.
many times. That's what she would have had to do. Hang her naked ass off the side. But my body couldn't get over the fact that I was standing and trying to pee at the same time.
Have you never
and
peed
it
in the
would not-
shower normal style?
I know it, but
Every time
I got.
I don't
frights.
like it.
I got frights. It wouldn't.
Every
let
time
me.
I pee in the shower, it's just as if I'm peeing like a boy. So it like
You should just have a Shiwi on
It's
you
a
at all
nice
times.
jet stream, you know?
Yeah.
Not like a everywhere.
I don't really know what's going on.
That's not how I pee. I don't know what's going on over there.
I don't know what's going on.
It's precise and targeted.
She's got lethal accuracy when it comes to her pissing.
Pissing in the shower, baby.
Dear God, this is such an interesting episode. Welcome to 2024, by the way.
But
Happy
here's the
New
thing,
Year.
Monica. Make one of our hashtags pissing in the shower. I'm sure we'll get a lot of
That's
views.
true. I'm sure. That'll be really good.
That's popular. People like to do it.
I did it just this morning.
I
so.
love peeing in the shower.
I don't like it. It's not for me.
You and my dad. He'll
I like
pee in
to
a
pee
pool,
before
but
the
will not
shower.
pee in the shower.
I don't like to pee in the pool either.
I think that's a crime, actually.
If it's a public pool, but if it's your personal pool, you can do whatever you want.
No, you can't do either.
Chlorine will get it. It's fine.
No.
Anyway,
can pee in
moving
the
on to less
ocean.
The ocean's
controversial.
fine.
the
It's big.
ocean is fine. Yeah.
And you're already swimming in fish sperm.
It's so big. Other things are peeing in there
There's a lot of
constantly.
sperm in
Yeah.
the ocean. Like, it's fine.
Anyway, let's get to Dan. Do you ever
Dan.
get so fed up? He also kind of looks like Dave Franco.
A little bit, yeah.
A little
Dave
bit.
Franco could have played this really well.
Yeah. So he got so fed up that he just like kind of stopped thinking and he just yeeted himself immediately.
Yeah,
he was
he's
just
like,
"I have
I'm
to do it.
scared.
I have to jump.
He felt really responsible for both of them, I think. Like, he made it the situation be the three of them. He hasn't been a good friend to Joe Lynch recently because he hasn't been around.
He's had his
But he
girlfriend.
also has not been a very good boyfriend to his girlfriend because he
doesn't
never
call her
touches her
baby.
face or calls her any sweet names.
No.
Um,
He eventually does right before he dies. He calls her baby,
Yeah, he
which
does
is
Right
that.
before he
Which-
jumps.
ugh.
Yeah.
which
Ugh.
listener, what are your
What do you
what are
think?
your thoughts about being called like sweetheart or sweetie?
or honey.
Honey. Those aren't for me.
Honey
Yeah.
is what
Too
my
diminutive.
dad always called my mom, and he would say, "Honey," and I'd be like, "What?" And he would be like, "Big honey, not little honey," and I'm like, "I'm nobody's honey."
I like Big Honey, Little
Big
Honey.
Yeah, Big Honey, Little Honey
is
was cute.
Yeah.
But
Honey
Don't-
pie is a song
sugar
from the
pie,
Beatles that I
honey
like.
bun.
Mm.
So honey, fine now, and
Yeah.
I'm a baby babe kind of
I-
girl.
Baby.
I
like
love
Babe.
baby.
Yeah. Sweetie is for a baby.
I-
a real baby,
My
not
dad calls me Sweetie Pie.
yeah.
Sweetie
Exactly.
pie
That's perfect.
is
Sweetie
adorable.
Pea, sorry.
Sweet pea.
Sweet
I
pea.
love calling people darling.
Sweetie Pea. That's what he says when I walk down the stairs.
Adam calls me Pepper,
Oh.
like a spicy pepper.
Like a
But I
spicy
can see that
butthole.
for you, though.
yeah.
Little Pepper.
I've revealed too much. But yeah, I mean, it's so funny because he really looks like he's going to be doing something so heroic, and it just goes the worst that it could possibly go.
And
the
it
way that
immediately
they
goes wrong.
Film the way that oh god, the like first person POV that they do for that moment when he jumps down, and it's like looking down at his legs, and you hear them go. And
My
you
legs.
See them like you can see
There's
the
a
compound
lot.
fracture happen.
Yeah.
It was
Blech.
so bad. And honestly, I mean, I think that's what happened because I closed my eyes.
Yeah,
And then
I
I
was hiding.
Punched Chelsea 45 times. I
Blech.
screamed. I writhed around. I rolled all around.
Yep.
I literally, I don't know why. I went like, just slapped Chelsea like 50 times. Love you, babe. Sorry.
Whoopsies.
Whoopsies. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to fall, you got to go limp like a rag doll.
Yeah.
And he landed directly on his legs, and the leg, your bones go. Pooch.
Yeah.
right through.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just
He
feel
should've
like he
tried to
wasn't
land on his
strategic
side.
about it. I thought he was gonna try and land on his butt, and I thought he was gonna break his tailbone.
But
But it
here's
was almost somehow worse than that.
He should have tried
Yeah.
to land on his side because, like, broken
So what? Your
ribs,
broken arm or whatever,
right?
You know?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you break an arm, you break a couple
You break your
ribs,
collarbone.
like,
You need your
For
legs to
sure.
get down the mountain.
Yeah.
But
And he couldn't even like roll or
He couldn't
brace
drag
himself because
himself
he was
over to
the
literally
snowboard.
fucking bleeding out, as he said. Like he literally
Yeah.
like
That's
Th-
where your
that's where your
femoral arteries
yes,
are.
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Like he was
he did not think this through.
Dunzo from moment fucking one. Honest to God.
And then he
with
was
that.
really Dunzo when the wolves showed up.
the wolves showing up. That shit. These wolves are wolves like this.
It's
Wolf
a full
ex-
moon,
do we
so
have
they
any?
were real riled up.
Oh my God.
Are wolves just like this?
mean.
Our wolves mean. My question.
Wolves
Yeah.
have a reputation for being aggressive, but they're actually usually shy around people and try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't think they would like.
But that's
hunt
what they
him,
were
but he
saying.
Was
They were like,
blooding. He was
he
blooding
was
a lot.
blooding.
He was blooding a great deal, and also, as we said, it was a full moon, so there
They were going wild.
could have been a supernatural take on this movie where they were actually all werewolves.
Werewolves.
And then Dan is all ripped apart, but then he turns into a werewolf,
Werewolf?
and then that's
Yeah.
what kills Joe. That would have been an interesting other movie that someone
Wow.
could still make now.
Mhm. I was also saying there could have been a real twist in this film. When we did Cursed with Claire on her podcast, Why the Flick, she told us that vampire lore includes that
Werewolf
if you.
lore.
What did I?
Vampire.
Maybe also.
Also.
Werewolf lore says that if you drink water out of a paw print puddle from a wolf, you'll become a werewolf.
Did you know about
Ooh,
that?
did
Did
know
you guys
that?
know that? You should
You-
know because Monica's in real risk.
I'm
Yeah.
in real risk
She's
because I'm
at
a big
constant
puddle.
danger.
I'm a big
She's
puddle licker.
Slurping them.
I'm slurping
Okay,
out
you
a
puddle licker.
I'm a puddle licker. No, this is not true. But this was a weird joke that we made on that episode, and you'll have to listen to it to understand what the fuck is wrong with me because no one else does.
Be hip to the inside jokes.
But
But it-
like, couldn't you see that happening?
Oh, yeah,
you know
that
what
would've
I
been
mean.
so
They're
fucking
the
funny.
wolves, I'm sure, are leaving lots of paw prints. Maybe the warmth of their paws is like melting some of the snow
Melting
that
the
they're
snow.
stepping in. They're gonna get dehydrated, stuck up there on that ski lift
And they
for
go a little-
days. They said it would be a week, so they were gonna be up there Sunday night to Friday morning,
Yeah.
allegedly. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday plus. That's too many days. I told them earlier, CSI taught me you can only survive without air for 3 minutes. You can only survive without water for 3 days, and you can only survive without food for 3 weeks. That's approximate. But 4 is more than 3. Don't know if you guys knew that. So they were
Whoa.
gonna die of dehydration up there if they
Damn.
just stayed. And once they got down on the ground, obviously there's lots of snow around. But if they're slurping from the puddle, all of a sudden werewolf movie.
Werewolf movie.
Pardon?
Anything could be a werewolf movie if you want it really hard
If
to
there's
be.
enough puddles.
Frozen
Anything-
2
Werewolf.
werewolf movie.
I'm so down.
Frozen
Parker-
2
I'll put
werewolf
money
full
down
moon.
for
Parker's
that.
down there at the bottom.
Werewolf.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I think they got the pacing down so good on this too because another thing we didn't talk about just really quickly, I do love that they had that second where they could have been rescued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after when the is that a ski-doo? No, that's a snowmobile. A
Yeah.
ski-doo is like
It's
a
a-
jet ski, but for the snow.
Yes.
To be clear, if in case anyone needs to picture it, that's
That is what they called a groomer.
a groomer. That's
because they're like
horrible.
grooming the mountain.
and there's groomers in this movie now
Yeah.
too. Jesus,
But
Christ. Their only refuge was a fucking groomer.
Oh my
A
god,
groomer!
scary.
but fun little fact: the groomer inside the groomer truck.
Uh huh.
So the actor who is driving the groomer truck is none other than Kane Hodder, who plays Jason in a bunch of the Jason movies.
It's Jason, baby.
Unbelievable. Side note: I just watched part of Jason Goes to Hell, and it was horrific. Not in like a horror way. I couldn't believe the premise of it.
You're like, how was this made?
I mean, I was expecting Jason X, and it's
And it was not.
was
it
not
wasn't
that.
even.
It was
on
not the
that level.
cinematic masterpiece that
It
is
was-
Jason X.
The FBI and CIA are involved, so just
Ooh.
take that into consideration. I didn't finish it. Maybe it redeems itself. Doubt it. Anyway, I love that. I love that little horror Easter egg. But anyway, back to where we were before. Dan's down on the ground. I loved the pacing with like Joe trying to like save him. He's like, I'm gonna start climbing this fucking razor wire thing. but I thought I didn't understand what was happening at the time, but all of a sudden he decides like he has to come back. And it's because he sees that all the wolves
Yeah.
are coming
He
back.
hears
We
them.
don't
Yeah.
see what he sees. We hear the wolves, and he comes back and he's like, I need to stop Parker from
From
watching
looking.
Dan die because Dan
Gets
is
eaten.
totally gonna fucking die. I mean, if there's a pack of wolves,
You're-
they already threw all the things they could possibly throw to scare them away.
He can't really defend himself
He can't
because
at
he's
all.
got no legs.
He's
Mhm.
losing blood. He's
Yeah.
just
And
like
it was
a
just
big
that one wolf at first when she threw her
snowboard.
yeah,
or whatever it was that she threw.
Maybe it was one of these.
Oh yeah.
And
ski
then
stick.
they'd thrown their skis and stuff earlier trying to get Jason on the
Yeah.
groomer, and they just didn't. They only had so many things left. And then the one wolf returned with all of its friends.
I thought
That-
it was so sad when Dan was literally like, he knows he's gonna die,
Yeah.
You know,
and he's screaming at Joe like,
Don't
Don't
not,
let her look.
don't let her
Yeah.
look, like, do not let her watch this.
That was
And
so,
also,
so
Joe-
sad.
Like Joe is holding her face, and Parker is like trying so hard to look and see, and he's like, we cannot look, because like that's
that part.
Where Gabriella stands up in the crowd.
Try. Wow, insert that clip right there.
But yeah, he died real bad. That's probably
That's
talk
a
about
horrifying
Isn't
way
he
to
the
die.
one that said the worst way to go is eaten by,
By
sharks? So
Same thing.
It's his worst.
These are
nightmare.
land
It's
sharks.
his worst nightmare. Especially
Nightmare.
comparing this movie to the 47 meters down extended universe and family. These are the sharks of the movie.
These are
They
land
are.
sharks.
Fall has vultures. 47 meters down has sharks. The Descent has creepy
Oogie
cave
boogie
people.
Batman.
Underground monsters.
Goopy guys, if you will.
Frozen's got wolves.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let it
They're
go.
relentless. They're really relentless.
I bet you if he would have sang "Let It Go," the wolves would have been
Oh, they would have been
transfixed,
so
and they would have been like,
moved.
"Okay, I'm now gonna eat you. You sing like an
So
angel."
many opportunities for this to become a musical. But you know, that's for the sequel, the werewolf sequel.
The werewolf
the
sequel.
musical.
The musical werewolf.
They're
sequel.
gonna go Anna and the Apocalypse with it.
Mm.
Musical. They did
Ooh.
musicals and
Anna
zombies.
and the Apocalypse.
Anna.
For the Frozen crossover.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
Layers.
Layers.
I think
It's
that
like
they
an
should give
onion.
us the contract to write it now. Where's our
Hello,
upfront
Adam Green.
$1 million?
We're writing this.
But yeah, it's just the worst possible thing, and then it just keeps getting
Worse.
more and more horrific. Like, but we didn't mention this. They show the bones coming out of the legs
They
about
showed
a
They're
thousand
wobbly.
times,
coming out,
a
yeah.
million times, and the effects weren't that great. It was a wobbly bone.
Well,
But-
they used all practical effects at least,
Yes.
which is cool.
Yes.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
a
It was
CGI
good.
wobbly bone
They
would be
filmed-
horrible.
Yeah,
No.
like everything was filmed on location and stuff like that too.
No,
Like they
I
were really up
appreciated
in
that.
the chairlift.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really appreciated that. And then we didn't get to see Dan's body, and I was pissed off about that. And then I found out later why.
See his
you just
wiggly
see his little
fingies.
hand.
Yeah, because it's been snowing.
Well, yeah. I just like wanted to see a dead body, and
Well,
I was
we
like,
see
oh,
that
they're
later.
Saving that for that's what I was saying. They're
Mhm.
saving that for later. But yeah, like
They did apparently, according to IMDb trivia, they did film an extended death scene for him, like in case they needed it to maybe like
Good.
bolster it for abroad sales, is what it said on IMDb trivia. But also they didn't want that
is
much
this
like
rated?
blood and gore, maybe, or like you
this-
just said maybe they were saving
oh, it is R.
that blood and gore moment for later. Because I mean, if you're doing eaten by wolves twice, yeah, you've got to find some
Some way
ways
to
to
make
make
it
them
worse.
Yeah, unique.
Because you have to hear it the first time, and then
Which
you're
is more
kind of
visceral a little
experiencing
bit.
it like the characters are experiencing it. We can't see it because they can't see
Yeah.
it,
hmm
and so I like that actually.
You're like in their
That's a-
perspective.
that's a
you're
good-
you're with them on the lift.
Yeah, on the journey. Okay, I like that. But yeah, this the frostbite stuff.
The frostbite stuff. I thought
Ugh.
it honestly was going to be worse than it was. Like, I kept expecting it to be. Not that it wasn't bad, because when she had to peel her frozen. When she lost her glove smoking her ciggy, and she had to peel her frozen hand.
Because she fell asleep
of the
holding the
pole.
safety bar.
Yeah, and then she had, like, her bloody hand, and you could see some of her skin stuck to. Especially when
then-
you saw it, like.
But now she can commit crime. She has no fingerprints.
Exactly.
Thank God. What a
Thank
relief.
God.
Bless.
At least there's some silver lining here.
Live a life of crime after this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
but yeah,
I like
the
how
cheek stuff.
she kept it from Joe though too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were trying to like protect each other in the end because like she knew he was worried about her, but there's nothing because he kept telling her, "Don't touch your face, don't touch your face." I think the most like demeaning part of the whole movie is when she finally does pee and she pees her pants
And she
just
cries.
starts crying.
No,
yeah.
it's so
And then
sad.
is wiping her tears and wipes off her fucking
Yeah.
face
Blech.
because she has a oh my
Frostbite.
god. It just like really packed it on. It was like I guess you could say it was like no, I don't think it was too much. I think it was just
Yeah.
enough.
No, it was
just
really
No, because
well
there was
done.
more
really
that we
well
thought
done.
was going to
Just-
be there too.
Yeah.
Like, Joe fell asleep with his face against the pole at one point, and it was just his beanie, but I was worried about his cheek pressing against it. And then
she
there was a
does
moment where it looked like
too.
she
Yeah.
had her face on the pole.
Oh, and we were
and we
all,
thought we were really scared about
we
how
were
that
all
was
like,
going
oh
to
my
go.
God, her
But then
face
it
is gonna rip off. The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
side of her face is gonna rip off, and it
Yeah,
didn't.
it didn't. That
Bless.
didn't happen, but that's okay because
Well, yeah,
it
and they
would have
did
been
that on
not
purpose
survivable.
too.
Yeah.
To like, it's like the fucking classic scene where like someone's in the refrigerator and the shot is like you're gonna see behind the refrigerator door and they close the refrigerator door and there's not someone there.
Nope.
That's
And
what
you're
that
like,
felt
thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was nervous
They
and
gotta-
anxious for nothing.
Uh-huh.
All worked up for no reason.
But yeah, I mean, I was very like they have their little lovey-dovey talk where they talk about how Dan was a fat ass and how he had a girlfriend, and I kept expecting. I just watched Love Actually because Adam had never seen Love Actually, so I kept expecting this to be like Love Actually vibes, where Love Actually the whole gimmick is that you think the best friend is actually in love with his best friend, but then it turns out he was actually in love with Keira Knightley the
Yeah.
whole time. And so I thought that that was what his story was going to be, that he had a crush on Parker in freshman year or something. I was so fucking wrong.
Oh.
Then I thought his
I was so
girlfriend
wrong.
was
Annie
like-
and Dean.
I thought
and
she was
then,
going to be dead. I was like, and then she died. And then
So
she
I can
didn't
never
die.
love again.
She's
She's just dating Dean, the guy who is making fun of him, which honestly is a little
That is
soul
rude.
crushing. Yeah.
And Dean was in a frat. So
Yeah, like I am sitting here and my girlfriend is sitting there and she's looking at someone behind me and laughing and then being like, everybody's making fun of you. Like, yeah, I also would be like,
everybody
I'm
actually
walking
hates
out and
you.
I'm never coming
Nightmare.
back.
That's like the worst nightmare when everyone's like, no, no one's
Especially when
thinking
you're, like,
about you.
18
Actually,
or
they
19.
are.
Actually, they're all thinking
they're
about
all
you and they're all
mocking
right
you.
there. And you turned around and you can't even find the person that we're talking about because there's so many
people.
It's not good for him. Poor guy.
But those conversations are so well done, and like when it's like almost a monologue from her, the monologue from her about her dog, not
Yeah.
like
I
fully a
know.
monologue, but that bit is so moving too, like really emotional.
Yeah, they just want to get back to their lives. Like it's just one little mistake and they're in this horror. Like the fact that like they are looking down the barrel of a fucking week up there.
Yeah.
Like that in and of itself, it's not like, oh, it's tomorrow. It's a week. Like they will die if they know they will fucking die if they don't do anything. And so they have to put themselves in more harm's way, even after watching their
Dan.
best friend and boyfriend fucking
Get eaten by
Get
wolves
ripped
and
apart.
have his bones shatter through his kneecaps.
Blech.
and-
ugh. So Joe like is so fucking heroic that he's doing all this upper body stuff, sexy, hot that he can do that. And
he
also,
couldn't even do a pull up.
Yeah,
You know, this is
He
new
had
for
to
him.
get a note to be excused
Mhm.
from PE class.
Jenny Lynch could do a pull up.
but he couldn't. But
They
now
said her
he
name
can.
later in the movie, and I was like, "What did they say about her earlier?" It just came back to me. She could do a pull up.
Yeah.
But it's such like that whole scene is so exciting because like, oh, they finally thought it through. They can go to the pole and go down the fucking ladder.
ladder.
He can use his other ski pole to
Fight
like,
off the
fight off the
wolves.
wolves and all
And
this
he's
stuff.
gonna ride her snowboard kind of like down like a sled.
Yeah.
and try and
Reach
get
down
help.
on his butt.
You really think it's gonna be okay, but that
then
reveal too.
The wolves come back and they are chasing after him.
But I really thought he
It
could
seemed
out.
like he got away. Yeah.
Really thought he could get past the wolves. You know, It's
Wolves
just like-
run really fast.
I know. I just didn't.
they're
I didn't
in their
expect
element,
that.
and he got attacked by them too. So like he's now like losing blood
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff too.
He just got his arm, but yeah, I could still. I don't know. I just not that it seemed like it was going to be a happy ending kind of movie, but
we thought at least 2 of the 3 would survive.
Maybe, yeah. It seemed like there was
Yeah.
a chance.
but
Wrong.
like when she realizes like
He's
fuck,
not coming back.
he must have died, otherwise he would be here right now because it's the whole fucking next day,
Yeah.
and she has to like have that grief and then still like yeet herself off this fucking thing. Oh my god.
Well, she gets help yeeting herself
'Cause it
because
was
the gondola breaks.
Yeah, because this little screw, Final Destination style, is unscrewing itself the whole time.
yeah.
And honestly, thank God it happened, you
Mhm.
know?
No, totally. And also, I think another thing that was helpful was that it had snowed a lot. So the snow was probably a little
Thicker.
bit softer and thicker when she
Mhm.
did fall on
Not
it.
flattened down by a zillion people's skis all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Ugh. But I really thought that she was also going to be crushed under the weight of the
ski flip,
gondola.
yes.
That
The
was
ski-doo.
I kind of thought maybe she was gonna stay on top of it when it fell and get like jostled around a little, but it would like take the impact of the landing
yeah.
a lot. It didn't go that way, but the falling halfway and then the slow cable like
And then
snapping and,
her, like,
unwinding, that at least
dropping
like allowed
and-
her to be lower. Yeah,
Yeah,
so the force
so
of
she
her
didn't-
fall is better. At
Yeah.
least.
I honestly
sh-
thought that she was gonna fall on Dan,
Ooh, on
and
his
like
little
it was
thingies.
gonna be like
There is that moment where you thought she was
Yeah.
crawling over to hold his
his hand.
little
I thought she was
hand.
gonna like go
Fingers
to
are out
hold
the
his
thing, and
hand,
it's like, oh,
and then,
she's gonna say goodbye.
and
No,
the hand pops out or something.
Oh my god, okay, in our sequel,
We get, like, a Carrie
she
Evil
goes back
Dead.
up the mountain, she goes to hold his hand and say goodbye, he comes out, he's werewolf.
he bites her.
Wow.
He's metamorphosized.
He's been drinking the puddle.
This
That's how
is-
he stayed alive under the snow.
This
We
is
never saw his body.
it's true.
True.
This is the werewolf movie that we've been
This
waiting
is
for.
the werewolf movie of our dreams.
We'll give you sort of what the original curse was gonna give us.
There
We'll add
you
some
go.
of those elements, and then of course,
I'm
keep
sure
the
we could get
frozen
Rick
elements.
Baker to do our werewolf.
Hello,
And the
Rick Baker.
musical
Wait.
aspect, of course, will be added in.
Yeah, yeah, of
It'll be
course.
very tasteful, and
Incredibly
equally as
tasteful.
moving as this film.
I think.
Picturesque,
Wonderfully
as well.
shot.
But that moment when she finally starts making it down the hill, and she sees Joe's body, they did a really good job.
Well,
of
and she
making
comes
that-
face to face with one of the wolves.
Suspiria when that girl is running away through the forest and the trees are
Yeah.
hitting her, and that's the Snow White reference. It's the same thing here. She's decided
Yeah,
to
she
take
decided to veer
the-
off trail.
yeah, the path of most resistance, where there's like 45 trees that can hit her in the fucking face, but maybe she's hiding from the wolves.
Right,
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe,
maybe
it's
it,
like,
like,
the
it
cover of
was-
the trees.
Yeah.
Or maybe I definitely have been skiing and have like tried to go down through the trees because I was like, nobody's gonna, not that she's at risk of being run over by everybody else on the mountain, but it's like not as steep sometimes. You
Yeah.
can kind of like step your way down.
Yeah,
and-
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But then she does do what I was suggesting, which is just
Just
roll.
yeeting herself down the mountain.
just start rolling.
Just
Yeah.
start rolling uncontrollably. But I really thought, because this is an R-rated movie and everything had been so fucked, and once Joe was dead, I was
She
like,
thought it was gonna
everyone's
go
die.
Megan style.
I thought she was gonna get her head popped like
Yeah,
a
run over by a
watermelon,
car.
run over by a car at the end. And then also, I thought that maybe once she got in the car, that guy was gonna be like a fucking
A serial
psycho.
killer. Yes,
Like,
that
mi-
was my guess. I was like, and
misery
now?
style, like misery style, like
Mm.
who was he on the
hello,
phone with?
pretty? Where have you been?
Well, he says one thing, like he's like, sweetie, darling. He's using the diminutives with her, and I was
Yeah.
like, I think maybe he's probably a nice man. But
Yeah.
what if
But what if?
But what if?
he's the oogie boogie?
Yeah,
And we won't know because we didn't watch to the end of the credits.
that could have been the post
That
credits
could have been
scene.
Yeah.
the post credit scene.
the post-credit scene is she turns into a werewolf and she mauls him in the car.
Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
it.
She's the monster.
Wow, that would have been a great.
Wow, you thought
twist.
it was the boy? Sexist.
Psych.
Women are powerful and they're
Women
werewolves.
are powerful.
Sigh.
And they're wolves.
Have you seen Ginger Snaps? I actually haven't.
I actually have. Yeah, I, don't
actually
think any of us
haven't.
have.
But I heard that's
But
what
I hear
happens.
it's good. I hear maybe it's gay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh no, we have to do Ginger Snaps.
We'll get there.
We're gonna do it, but not right now. We've
Not
got
right
now.
plans
Not right now.
for
We're
it, but
busy.
not right now.
We're
We're
busy working
writing
on our
our own-
other werewolf
Yeah.
movie.
We're writing our own werewolf movie. We have to do that first. Okay. Are we ready for a segment?
Oh, and that's how it
Oh.
ends. It just says Frozen.
Frozen.
Yes, and she like with her looking out the window, dejected, just
Completely
empty.
dissociated.
completely
Boy.
dissociated.
Completely dissociated.
Oh my god, it's bleak. We should have done this for Bleak-vember.
Bleak. November bleak.
November bleak. November Bleak-vember. This is why Chelsea does the writing for the podcast.
Before we do segments, there
Yeah.
was some good trivia
Oh,
on
please,
IMDb.
please. Yeah, I didn't read anything this time.
Okay, so apparently, at the Sundance Film Festival, which is one of the places where this movie premiered, there was another
Interesting.
trivia piece in there that said it first played somewhere else later that I'll mention. But at the Sundance Film Festival, writer-director Adam Green told a story about how the spot where they shot the movie was supposedly haunted
Oh, good.
because someone had died by suicide by it seems like they jumped off the chair maybe chair 92, which you do see at one point in the movie, but they are on chair 75 in the
Okay.
movie. So they put some distance, but it's the same spot.
Damn.
Which is super interesting because there was another piece of trivia that said, when trying to find the right spot to shoot the movie, some of the crew were scouting the area from one of the chairlifts. One suggested a spot 50 feet above the ground, and the chairlift almost magically just stopped. They knew right then and there that this was the right one. Which, like, yeah, that sounds like that spot is haunted.
Yeah.
That sure sounds like that spot is haunted.
That's so
Haunted
fucking
spot.
scary.
Haunted spot.
This is why I'm not skiing again.
We are
They're all
not
it's all
skiers on this
haunted.
pod.
There's fucking werewolves.
Yeah.
No. There's werewolves at every ski lot.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Mhm.
Ski at your own risk of werewolf.
And
Uh-huh.
night ski, if you're night skiing,
werewolf.
well, just
Under a
fucking-
full moon.
I hope your
werewolf.
will is signed and notarized, okay?
I hope you're the werewolf out there on the mountain if you're night skiing. Okay, Sean Ashmore. You might recognize him. You might think you recognize him, but actually you recognize his identical twin brother who is also an actor and is in a
No
bunch of stuff.
way.
But he was in the X-Men movies
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, whose power is to
Ice.
make things frozen.
Oh, yeah,
and
he's in
himself
X, too.
frozen.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, this was like my favorite era for X-Men too.
Yeah.
That's the one with Halle Berry, right? And
Yeah.
Wolverine, the
Yes.
beginning. Those were really good. Just
So I
saying.
thought that was a good trivia piece.
Yes, I remember him from that. He's also in The
apparently-
Rookie.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. And Kevin Zegers was in a movie that I definitely watched on Comedy Central when I was younger called It's a Boy Girl Thing, where they do drag. It's a body swap movie, and he
Ooh.
body swaps with a girl. So that's interesting. And he's
Try!
He's also in Felicity, an American Girl Adventure.
Ooh.
So
It all comes
Important
back
to
to
know.
American Girl.
I love his career.
there was some
That's
interesting
called range.
There's some interesting cameos in this movie. All of the characters, first of all, were named after some of Adam Green's friends. And the names were
Sick.
just like placeholders at first, apparently, but then they got used to it, so they just
And
like
then he was like, fuck
kept
it, we
them in.
ball.
yeah,
Fuck it,
it's
we
named
ball.
after his friend Joe Lynch, which is the exact name. His friend Dave Parker. So they took Parker from that.
Yeah.
And then his friend Dan Walker, which is the exact
Yeah.
name. And his friend Dan Walker is nicknamed Spooky Dan Walker.
Cute.
And then there's a line in the movie where Lynch says to Dan, "That's kind of spooky, Dan." So they like snuck it in.
That's so funny.
Shannon, the girl whose number we memorized, that was Adam Green's wife at the time.
Ah.
So
cute.
she did a little cameo.
They're like, we don't want her to die. So
Yeah.
we're just going to give her a
Well,
nice
she's
little...
just gonna go home.
It's like Robert
Um,
Rodriguez putting his realtor in it and his
Right.
actual doctor
Yeah.
in Planet Terror.
there's a missing poster in the beginning of
Yes.
the movie that I
Yeah.
think we all thought was going to be plot
I-
relevant.
Yes.
It's just an Easter egg because one of his friends
Was actually
Was
missing.
BJ McDowell is his usual camera operator, but wasn't able to do this movie because he was working on Halloween 2. So they did a little missing poster to be like, he's missing from
Where
Halloween
did
2.
he go?
Halloween 2.
The 2009 one.
Mm,
Was that the Rob Zombie one?
maybe.
Couldn't tell you.
I might have bet that might. I haven't seen it, so don't quote me. But
There's the voice from the top of the mountain that announces that the last chair has gone through when it sees like the flag chair come up. That is Dee Snider from Twisted Sister.
Oh, we love Dee Snider.
Because his son Cody was the director's assistant on this movie.
Oh.
Adam Green himself and fellow genre director Joe Lynch are also two of the people on the ski lift when it breaks down in the beginning during the day.
those two guys who yell
like,
back
look
at them.
back.
That's so
yeah,
funny.
That's
them.
fun.
Cute.
So they did like a whole bunch of stuff like this. Will Barrett, the director of photography, cameos as Sullivan, the employee who runs by pretending not to hear Rifkin. So that is the guy who needs to
Oh, so Rifkin is the guy. who needs to pee.
Rifkin. Great name,
yes.
actually.
pee. And like I mentioned, it premiered at Sundance Film Festival, and one IMDb trivia entry says that someone fainted, but there's also another entry that says the first time anyone ever saw this movie was at Austin, Texas's Ain't It Cool News But Numathon, which never heard of, but what a great name.
But numb.
And it was
Athon?
But
Oh, so
Numathon.
you sit for a million
Yeah,
years.
I
Okay.
think
I
it's
love
like a
that
bunch
name.
of movies, like a marathon. And it was a surprise screening that played with Shutter Island, great film.
Oh, great.
Oh.
The Lovely Bones,
Oh, dear
And-
fuck.
2009 Avatar.
Oh, no.
That's a long.
Things are going off the rails.
Yeah,
That's an
That's the
interesting
M. Night
movie
one,
list.
right? That was
no,
horrible.
I think this was the James Cameron
Yeah.
Avatar.
Oh my god.
But
That
actually, I have no
movie's
idea
So long.
because
I
I
don't
definitely
know.
thought the one you said earlier. I don't. When did Avatar come out?
2009?
Yeah, so it's
Avatar: The
probably
Last
that.
Airbender is 2010, so Avatar 2009. That's James Cameron
I
Avatar.
can't believe they had two avatars so
I know.
close to each
Avatars
other.
back to back.
Wild.
But it says someone at the Butnumathon in the audience
The
fainted
Butnumathon.
and was carried out after watching Kevin Zager's character jump from the lift to the ice below.
That shit
Honestly,
was
I almost
nasty.
fainted. It was
So-
gnarly.
Oh my god. I resorted to violence.
But yeah, they did
It
a lot of
changed. Monica
practical
devolved.
filming.
I devolved.
They did a lot of practical filming. Adam Green, though, as I mentioned, he's scared of heights. They like were up on the lifts, like doing the filming, and they were up like suspended from that, especially when the ski lift was like moving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were filming that way. The wolves were only on set for 4 days.
Oh,
They
that's
were
a long
incredible wolf
days.
That
actors.
is, yeah. And there was one moment where they were shooting where you can see like Kevin Zegers get scared when the wolves are coming up to them because the wolves were getting like a little close in real life, and he was looking around to the trainer to be like,
I'm not gonna die for you,
Yeah.
right?
Well, do you guys see that clip from Anyone But You? Which is that new rom-com with
Oh, I
Glenn
wanna
Powell
see
and
that.
Sydney Sweeney, and they've got the wolf spider, and it is on his butt or whatever at one point. But then there was that clip
I
that
haven't
went around
seen
on
it.
Twitter where it was actually biting her. It actually started biting her.
Those are like real poisonous.
Not to humans, but it hurts. But so she starts
Oh, I'm thinking
screaming
of
and
the
is like,
huntsman
"It's
spider."
biting me! It's biting me!" And they don't. They think she's just really
Joking.
method at
Jagging.
first, maybe joking or like really
Yeah.
serious about the scene because I think it like bites her in the scene. But it started really biting her, and she was screaming. And you know, animal actors are
Unruly
you
because
guys have
they're
seen
animals.
Nope.
Nope.
Right?
Could happen
They
at any time.
maintain their wild
are
animal
actual
nature
animals.
even when they are trained animals.
Yeah.
So, if a wolf got that close to me,
I would also be
scared.
shitting my pants.
Yep.
But when
Hundo pee.
Joe Lynch gets attacked by a wolf, that was a border collie. So
That's cute.
yeah.
So he was actually.
So
like,
he was safe.
So he was probably just giving him lots of
"Hi, cutie."
kisses. He was like, and he was like, ah, get off me.
That's amazing. Good trivia for this one. That's
Yeah,
fun.
there's lots of cool stuff in here. And they did lots of like the writer director's band plays at one point and like all this stuff and like Emma Bell peeling her hand off. They did that in like they used the first take.
Ooh.
So
That was so
lots
gross.
of lots of cool stuff in there.
That's awesome. Okay, are we ready for segments? Alrighty, we will ask the age-old question: how could this movie be gayer?
Well, Joe and Dan are in love.
They need to lean more into the homoeroticism.
They really needed to do more of
And-
that. There should have been a moment, when like
Dan is
Dan's
unwilling to
about to
be.
jump, and he's like,
I'll
"I
never
love
let
you,
go,
baby," or whatever to Parker, and then he said, "I love you, baby." So gives her the baby. She wanted.
Yeah.
She
to be
wanted the
called
baby. Yeah.
And then she turns to Joe. He turns to Joe, and he goes, "La, la, la."
And they could have had a Titanic moment where it's like, I'll never let go.
Yeah. Or just one of those like
Long, meaningful eye contact.
I am. I'm on Larry TikTok.
Oh, I'm on Larry TikTok till the
I
day that I
wasn't
die.
like a
I'm an
huge-
anti.
No, I'm a
not
Larry
a huge
stan.
One Direction person, but I
hate
like some.
Louis.
I don't care.
Oh.
I believe in them.
I have one-sided beef with Louis.
Well, anyway, it's making me really like do that thing that people do when they're like any
Doing a
like
full
slight
conspiracy
look.
theory. Yeah.
It's like that is rich. It's rich with lust. Like I've looked at some of these ones and it's just like something has nothing to do with anything, and they're like, this is proof. My
This
favorite
is proof.
underrated proofs for Larry. That was one of the ones that I saw. And I was like, I feel like it's gotten into my brain now. And I was like, you see that look? They looked at each other for 1.5 seconds. You know, men, they don't look at each
They
other in the
don't-
eye.
never make eye
I've heard
contact.
all the men saying
Only
they're
gay men
lonely.
looking at each other in the eye. That's not true. But there were vibes. He was too jealous.
Here's the
was
thing:
too
they should
jealous.
have played footsie like under the table when they were talking about like why is she even
There
here?
should have been
God.
more homoerotic shoving
Yes.
for sure. That's like
Footsie-
straight guy flirting.
I made the joke where it was like she should have let them go up on the mountain and have a little Brokeback Mountain time while skiing, and it would have been a perfect film.
Yeah, what happens on the mountain
And then
stays
they
on the
come
mountain.
back down rejuvenated. They're having fun. They're like, let's go for one more lift, one more run.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
they take her up and ruin everything.
And then they all
And
And
then
that's
they
when
die.
the dynamics really go to shit. 'cause
that
it's
would have
like-
been so. That actually would have been so
That
good
would've been
if they
good.
went.
Yeah.
They finally kiss, and then they're like, "Oh," and then she's like, "Actually, I want to go one more time." Then they get stuck up there, and that's part of the social breakdown. Or
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out that they had a gay, passionate love affair on the mountain.
After he's
They
dead
fucked
already.
in the trees. Wow. Because like as he falls, he goes, "Joe, I love you." Those are his last words,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What the
What
fuck?"
the fuck?
Oh my
Wow.
god, that would be compelling.
edit this right
That
now.
would be compelling. I could be even more compelled if someone was gay in this movie.
Right.
So
But I also felt like it could have been throuple vibes, you know? I felt
Yes.
like there was space for that. Because, like you were saying, with the best friend and the girl and that's such a trope in media, too. And it kind of felt like they were maybe going to go that way in this movie at points. Or at least, like, if
Yeah.
they were the two survivors, maybe they were going to pair off at some point.
yeah, because I
to,
thought he was
like,
gonna admit the
comfort
crush.
each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was a lot of space for romance within any of the breakdown of
Well,
the three,
Dan.
and
cool.
also in the three together if they could only have made it work.
Dan, bisexual king.
He doesn't know
Parker,
it about himself. but
bisexual.
No.
Joe, gay man.
Joe knows that he is down.
He's very down.
Yeah.
Though he did have cute chemistry with Shannon, but that was just a little blip.
Gay men always have cute chemistry with women.
That's so true. You know what?
I
You're so
liked
right.
his flirting
Oh,
with
you're
her.
so right.
I liked his antagonism towards Ryan.
Well, everybody wants to be antagonistic towards Ryan.
But
It's
I
in our
liked with
nature.
Shannon where he was like, "Your boyfriend only looked twice my size." Like he did some
Yeah.
good cute flirting.
He did something. I think he's so cute.
Mhm.
I think he's so cute, and he doesn't have a punchable face like Dan does. Dan has a face where he knows that he's hot, and he's
Yeah.
a little annoying about it. So, Dan, come on, man. Okay. Any more gay thoughts? No.
Well, I
No.
mean, so many, but not
Yeah.
for this movie.
Exactly.
I am.
We say the same
fully
thing
ready
every
to buy
time when I
into
say
the
that.
throuple.
It's part of the bit.
I love it. They literally have the line that says like something threesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're like something threesome.
And we're like, we need some threesome time.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Just a little time with our threesome.
Mhm.
Okay. That leads us to Matthew Lillard.
Okay, imagine this movie: Nev Campbell, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard.
Oh my God.
No, I was like Sean or Ashmore. That's his name, right?
Mhm.
Joe is fucking Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Like he is Matthew Lillard.
Yes.
Like that would be
Skeet Ulrich would absolutely be
perfect.
Dan.
Yes.
Mhm.
That would be so fuck. That would be so good.
Nev Candle.
Especially Neve Candle,
Neve
actually.
Candle.
Because Nev is her actual name.
Neve Candle would be incredible as Parker. I would love to see her fall down on the snowboard.
I'd love to see
Lovingly.
her break down about her puppy Shayna.
Okay, we had somebody comment. It's like, you love Matthew Littling so much.
Oh,
you always
what is
post
that?
him
That's
in
one of
like
my-
the most obscure,
Give it
like
the
4-second
littlest
role.
roles.
Was that JJ? Who was that? It was so much. No,
No,
it
it
wasn't. It was
wasn't JJ.
Miles, right?
I'll pull it up right now.
Hold
Yeah.
on, we're
It
gonna
was one of
double check.
our fave listeners.
Yeah, it was
And he
Miles.
came-
Shout
that
out
is
Miles for
Miles
absolutely
reading us
brutally
for
dragging
Phil.
us.
Like, you love him so much, you want to see him for 3 minutes. Sometimes, Miles, it will make the movie jump the shark to have acclaimed horror actor Matthew Lillard starring in it, and we want to support up and coming actors, no names, or people early in their career. We don't want to take that away from them,
But we
Well,
want to see him in every single
but we
movie
do want
that
to
we
see
ever
him.
Miles said that they just listened to the influencer episode, and we did that, but I guess we gave Matthew.
Oh, we
a
wanted
really
him to be
little
like
role,
the old
creepy,
man
pervy guy.
in the Times.
And you know how there's that whole thing in influencer where she's like, nobody would know if you disappeared, and I
Yeah.
could just impersonate you for a little bit. Miles was like, well, we would know if you cast Matthew Lillard in a full-time starring role that something's gone wrong. So I will say, this is us, and we are casting him in a full-time starring role this
No.
time.
We're looking
Wrong.
at you,
Giving-
Miles.
We're giving the whole trio from
Wrong.
Scream.
I think he would be a perfect.
He's Rivkin.
He's Rivkin.
Yeah, he's the ski lift operator.
He's the guy that has to take a piss.
He would be that. No, yeah, we don't even give him the one that she flirts with. We give him the guy who has to pee, and his one line is, "I really gotta piss."
Or
That's for you, Miles.
here's the thing: he could also be the man driving the minivan at the end, who we don't see his face at all. We
don't
just
even
see
see
him.
him.
Just
Just
hear his
imagine
voice on the phone.
Matthew Lillard's dulcet tones.
God damn
You,
it!
you okay, sweetie baby?
You read us for filth. Anyway, I think those are great options. But if this was the Scream cast redo,
Can you? Like, that
I
is so
would-
delicious to me.
That would be
absolutely, I'm
such a
licking
good
my lips
remake.
at the thought.
I'm going absolutely feral like the wolves.
Feral, like
I'm
was
hungry
how I
like the
feel
wolves.
about Jacob Elordi. Anyway, maybe we can do Saltburn on the pod. We have to watch it first. Keep going. We're
Yeah,
moving on. What's our next one?
Dumb
Dumb bitch.
We definitely said as soon as the Jason and the groomer drove by, and they were doing such an awful job.
At getting
Um,
his attention.
Yeah, it took them so long to be like, should we throw something? And then they did a really bad job. They had some
They
bad
just
luck for sure.
Thought that
also,
he
but-
already
Yeah.
saw
Saw
them.
them.
And
Yeah.
they were already, that moment when they're already like laughing with joy because they're so
But here's the
relieved
thing
and they're
too: like
so
you
fucked.
need to hit his machine so
Throw
it
your
makes
skis.
noise.
Yes.
Because, like he saw something and then didn't see anything, and he's like, "Oh, must have been like a weird, probably something from a tree or something
Mhm.
falling."
Yeah.
But if you're like yeeting your helmet and it hits the roof or it hits the top, like they're gonna have to look.
yeah. No, I
If they
think the
crunch over
elements were
something.
against them though, because there's the wind and,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing, difficult to hit the target.
Listen, they
so that
clearly
was
didn't
hard.
spend their childhood throwing glass beer bottles out of moving cars trying to hit signs, so they don't know how to do things.
Another little Easter egg about Sydney's past for you.
It's all part of the lore. It's fine.
It's all part of her exotic lore. Exotic nightmare.
Erotic,
button
exotic,
phrase.
Stuck porn
behind
lore.
the
SEO stuck porn, exotic nightmare,
Lore.
Sydney lore.
We're gonna get so many clicks.
If they make captions of every word we say, but other than that, no. I'll try to remember these for when I'm doing hashtags. God, we're gonna have some interesting new listeners. First, WWE,
Now stuck porn.
And then
we
the
love
men of the
to
internet.
speak to all audiences.
we are.
It's a new
pod of
year. It's a
people.
new audience.
All people. Yeah, we're changing the whole.
We're
vibe
so
this year.
inclusive.
You thought that it was horny before. Now it's just gonna be disgusting.
Now it's gonna be.
You're not gonna like it. I mean,
Unless you do, then we
Unless
also
you
like
do.
you even more.
I don't know. I don't agree with Chelsea where I'm not gonna victim shame. I'm kidding. You know I have to come through your life every episode. That's my job on the podcast.
Boom, roasted.
Gotta boom roast you.
Don't
Boom.
don't join in.
Roasted. No, but I think that the supervisor is the dumb bitch who took
Sure.
away Mr. Man's
Yeah.
weekend off to
Yeah.
go
or bachelor
be
party.
at the bachelor party. None of this would have happened
I agree. I'll
if
support
that
that.
hadn't happened. So it's management once again. Fuck you, management.
Fuck you, management.
Fuck you,
Pay
middle
them
management.
well and
Mhm.
give them their time off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the dumb bitch.
Again, it could be the young college age students for breaking the rules.
It could have been the ski lift operator who, like,
Also
you know,
broke the
he-
rules.
Yeah, he broke the rules also. He, like, tried to put some systems in place when Rifkin came over, but he also could have radioed up and been like, there's 3 people on the chairlift after the
Coming up.
flag. Yeah, there's more that could have been done
Yeah.
by
That
everyone.
wasn't.
Yeah. They're gonna sue hardcore.
Real
Well,
comedy of
If she
errors.
lives, I
Well,
hope that she gets $1 billion
that's
to help
another
with her
little-
trauma, but it won't help with her trauma.
That's
but at
another
least she'll have
little-
$1 billion.
But at least she'll be able to buy lots of therapy sessions.
Exactly.
I have not seen Hatchet 2.
What? What the
Mm.
fuck, Sydney? I,
know.
can't believe you haven't seen Hatchet 2. I haven't
But
seen Hatchet
there-
1. Oh, so.
Or 2. But there's like a little like in one of the scenes or something because it's done by the same director.
Adam Green.
You
Oh,
see
really?
like a news thing talking about how like ski
there, like-
survivor suing ski lodge. So she is actually going to sue the ski lodge.
Oh, you see that in
Oh.
Hatchet 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
fun,
a little
fun, fun,
Easter
fun,
egg
fun.
in Hatchet 2.
One of the podcasts that we follow did like I think it was all the Hatchet movies. Are there like 1 million of them?
I have no idea.
I think there's only 2. I'm looking at his IMDb now. I only see 2 on here.
Maybe the other ones aren't directed by him. Maybe I'm getting it confused. But
Mm.
there was like
Who's
Hatchet
to say?
7, and I was like, sweet,
Whoa.
fuck.
That's a lot of hatchets.
We gotta stop. It's like if we get to the level where it's Jason Goes to Hell. I can
Tony
tell you.
Todd's in there. And
Oh.
Kane Hodder.
Okay, well we're
Oh.
gonna watch Hatchet.
Hatchet 2.
We're gonna watch Hatchet too.
And Danielle Harris, who I know has been in something, but I don't remember off the top of my head, but it might have been the roommate.
I don't. That name sounds familiar.
Urban Legend.
Oh,
And Halloween 4, but we haven't done that.
are we ready for Knives Out of Fives?
I think so.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I don't know. I don't know why.
Monica, don't sound so enthusiastic about it.
I was trying to do like a sexy accent.
That was sexy.
Woof.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I don't know what came over me. I'm
That's
very
what
sorry.
I like to hear.
Chelsea. Set the
Chelsea.
scene for us. Why don't you? I don't know what to say. It's just getting worse. and
Sure,
worse.
sure,
I
sure.
started crying.
Oh. She's emotional.
Monica's like, I was too sexy.
It's okay. It's all right.
Anyway,
right.
they're literally tears coming out. All right, keep going.
Okay, so this movie on IMDb has 6.2 out of 10. And then similarly, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 63% fresh from critics. Fresh. However, audiences, 48%, which is rotten.
Because it made them start beating their friends because they're so
Yeah,
upset.
maybe.
They're like, I can't handle this movie.
And I guess I can see how, like, it's not a slow burn per se, but it's kind of like
It's not action.
it's not action packed.
Yeah.
And I think that is like part of the horror and part of the drama and what I really liked. But I
Totally
can see
agree.
how some audiences would want to be
Yeah.
watching a different movie.
Yeah.
It was really suspenseful.
Yeah.
They were like, "Where are the werewolves?"
Yeah.
No, they were like,
They would have been like, this would have been 100% if
footprints on
there
a
was
full
werewolves.
moon.
You're telling me they're not down there slurping?
This movie needs more slurping.
if Dan had just slurped in his
If
final
he had
moment, he
just
would have been
slurped,
healed by the werewolf
He
power.
would have been transformed.
He's the dumb bitch.
She is victim blaming
For not
Monica.
slurping.
I'm sorry, I'm having a mental breakdown. I started crying because I used an accent. I don't know what's going on. That voice triggers my tear ducts.
Oh, and she forgot to do
Oh, yeah.
any secret hand signs for us.
I don't know. I saw. Oh,
Wait, there it is.
oh,
Oh, it's really there's
Oh.
one.
oh.
Here, wait, just let me do it and then let's see. Yeah.
Wait.
Yay!
Wow.
This
You
is
should've
why
done that
I
at
always
the end.
I always carry my flare gun when I go skiing.
Right. I would always have my cell phone on me because
Yeah, they left theirs in the locker.
dumbasses.
Confetti!
Yay!
Wait, okay, we should use them. So this is confetti.
Okay.
Double peace sign is confetti. Double thumbs up is the
Balloons.
Oh, whoa.
Oh my god.
Double thumbs up is this. I don't know which one does the balloons.
Maybe
so we'll
single
have to
thumbs up.
just try it. Maybe after your score you can
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're adding visual effects. Anyway, it's sad that it's not a ghost. I'm pretty disappointed that the
I think
balloons
it's
haven't
still
been
a
a
ghost.
this whole time and we can manipulate it, but maybe we are the ghost.
Maybe.
We are the ghosts.
We're dead the whole time. Anyway, you were saying things about the scores. Sorry.
I think that just about wrapped it up. That just,
Okay.
I think people wanted to be watching maybe a different movie. I mean, I didn't read any of those reviews to see why they thought it was not fresh.
they're all
It's not my
wrong.
business.
Yeah.
It's not
But
my
they
business.
were wrong. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot. It was
I really
kind of
liked
exactly
it.
the movie that I most enjoy, which is like the interpersonal dynamics and like
Yeah.
the character growth and like the human drama.
It was legit really good.
And it was
shocked.
like very scary for what it was.
Yeah.
And it was like the
It was well shot.
It was
the
well put
dialogue
together.
was
It was
good.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, the shots were gorgeous when they're in the daytime having their heart to heart, and like the makeup was so good with the snow on their
their
Yeah.
faces,
little
their
icy
little mustache.
mustaches.
Yeah, that was really good.
And
Like,
it's all practical effects.
their
Mhm.
skin like
Blech.
getting flakier and flakier. Not even just the parts that were frosty.
No, but, like,
Peeling
their
the
whole
land
skin.
off.
Blech.
Yeah, like it was really good. I don't know. I was shocked. I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised.
I could imagine that if I was like watching this by myself, I think I probably still would have enjoyed it, but I think it was definitely more fun to be watching it together.
It's hard to watch
be
that type of
cuddling on the
body
couch.
horror alone
By
too.
yourself,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this together. So
It was
we
a
Yeah,
can
fun
watch
this
one.
is a
it.
good
It was
one.
a fun one to watch together.
It was a gamble. It could have sucked, but no, I'm
But
really
it
glad
didn't.
it didn't. Okay, who wants to go first?
We're starting this year off with a bang. I'll actually give this one a 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh,
I
nice.
had like a really good time. I'm normally okay with body horror, but this one is so like realistic.
Yeah.
Like,
Compound fracture.
where it's like, it's not The Fly where he's turning into a fly.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like, oh, this could happen to me.
Yeah.
This is very like real.
It was really
So
visceral
real.
too.
except for
except-
maybe the wolf behavior. Maybe.
It could happen. Wolves are
Maybe.
I
aggressive.
don't fucking know.
But they're hungry.
But
It
so
was
this
cold.
is definitely a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Okay, great.
Ooh.
That's awesome. I don't know. At least a 4.5 for me. Maybe I'm gonna even go. I'll do 4.7. How about that? Because I really, really enjoyed it.
Ooh.
I'm trying to be a little bit less giving this year. Because I realize I'm just like 5
She's
stars,
gonna
5
be a
stars, 5 stars,
Scrooge
5
in the
stars.
new
Yeah.
year.
I have my own private letterbox, and I'm so mean on my own private letterbox. And then on the podcast, I'm like,
You're
it's
having fun
5.
with your friends.
5 out of 5.
You're like, actually, I had a good time watching it.
I had fun. But yeah, no, like I'll do 4.7. It was just like it really was a pleasant surprise, and it was really compelling, and the acting was really good. And I don't know, I just like kind of looped it in with like, when you're on Amazon Prime watching horror movies and it's like related and it's like Velocipaster and like I don't know, Society with the shunting in it and all
12
this
feet
stuff.
deep sisters trap.
Yeah, like it like the fall. The fall honestly was fun. It was fine.
It's just fall.
Sorry. Fall. What? Are you okay?
We didn't go through the notes.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
That can be a social clip.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It really surprised me. And there's so many movies in the 2010s that I never watched because I was a little scaredy bitch for half that decade. So I'm gonna try to watch a little bit more of that this year. There's some gritty stuff, there's some shitty stuff, but there's some good
Gritty
stuff
and
in there
shitty.
too. I love to rhyme, baby.
She's a poet.
She didn't even know it.
Chelsea, do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll give it something right in that range. I thought about it and was like, do I give it 5 knives? Like, I really liked it.
Yeah.
But, like, again, I don't know. While I really liked it and it was a lot of fun and I don't really have any complaints, I also don't feel like so bursting with enthusiasm necessarily.
Yeah.
She's not
It didn't knock your
enthused.
socks off.
It was really fun. I really
There was
liked
no
it.
werewolves.
Yeah, Big
I
drawback.
don't immediately feel like I want to watch it again sometime, but maybe that's like where my reticence is coming in. But I really liked it. I would watch it again. I'm just not, it wasn't so like
It didn't reinvent the wheel or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was really good. I liked it. I would want to see more from those actors. I would want to see more from this writer director. It makes me open to watching Hatchet, which I don't really know anything about.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like curious about everybody involved and
Mhm.
like I'm very open to more from them because I thought everybody did a really great job.
Yeah.
So I'll probably give it like a 4.8 knives out of 5.
Great. Hell yeah, we started off with a movie that we all liked. Isn't that
Wow.
It was
And
a
we
blind
like went in
pick,
blind to
too.
it.
nice? Yeah,
Which
totally blind.
is interesting because next we're also going in blind.
Are we gonna do it?
Yeah, I think we should.
I
think
so.
I'm down.
Yeah.
It
It
could
could
be
be released.
it could be fucking
fun.
terrible.
Could be really bad.
But it's done for the producers of Megan and who else? What was that other one that it does?
I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking
It's
know.
like from the producers of
It's
Megan
Blumhouse.
and yeah.
So
I don't really
who
know.
wants to introduce it? Do you want to do
anything.
it?
Sure. From Google, we it's a new release, comes out beginning of it'll
Maybe
be
it's
out,
coming
but
out
yeah.
January 5th.
It'll have
January
just
fifth.
come out
yeah.
by the time you're listening to this.
Spoiler alert, it's still 2023 when we're recording.
But it's a movie called Night Swim.
Dun dun dun.
Yes, very exciting, very dramatic title. The trailer screenshots look dramatic as well.
Have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't
Mm-mm.
yet.
It's silly. It's you know that thing I've told you guys about
it's
before. My biggest like childhood fear.
Yeah.
is like the thing pulling you down when you're in the pool. That's like the whole fucking
Mm.
premise.
My biggest childhood
There's some
fear
sort
is
of-
that there's a shark in the pool in the deep end.
It's because we watched that Are You Afraid of the Dark
Yes.
episode. So
And there's
it's
a shark in
got
the deep end of
that
the pool.
vibe. There's something up with this pool. The premise is like a family buys a house and it has a
Haunted
pool.
pool.
Well,
Haunted
just
pool.
like a pool that's like all fucked up, and so they like put it like it was drained. It wasn't in use from the old owner, and then they fill it up again and get it in working order. And the trailer is a girl playing Marco Polo with a boy in it, and the boy pranks her and
I
gets out
have
of the
seen
pool.
that.
And so she's doing Marco Polo, but she hears something, and there's something else in the pool, and then that's the end of the trailer. It's a good trailer,
Ooh.
and Marco Polo is a scary game.
Is
I think
scary.
this is gonna hit my trigger though, and I might have a panic attack. So let's can we see it together?
But it's got Wyatt Russell, and I like him. So
Oh, cool. I don't know who that is.
that is,
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's
yeah,
son. So
Oh.
Kate.
he was in 22 Jump Street, and
Is he the dad?
Probably.
Did you ever watch
He's in Under the Banner of Heaven. Oh, he's in Monarch.
Banner.
Aren't you watching Monarch?
Oh yeah,
Lee Shaw, Captain Lee Shaw, or Lieutenant Lee Shaw.
yeah. Oh, I think I know who it is. I just started it, so I'm not that far in. Okay, cool. That'll be really fun. I'm excited to see a movie in theaters. I'm excited to do something new because we didn't get to do Thanksgiving, and I really wanted to, but it didn't pan out. So
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this will be fun.
New release, new release, new release.
New release.
Oh my god. Okay, so now we got to do our poll question. It's important. What do we think?
Would
how
you
would you
slurp
like to die?
the puddle?
Would you slurp the puddle? Well, I mean, we could ask the question like that they asked, like, what's the worst way to die?
Oh.
And put all the options that they put, and then
then
also
also-
what happens
yup.
in this movie, or like each of
And
the deaths
fill in the blank.
in this movie. I think that would be a fun, fun.
That's a fun question.
That's not fun for the beginning of the year. Contemplate your
Own
inevitable,
inevitable
violent
death.
mortality.
Dun, dun, dun.
We love it. 2024, very happy, go lucky. But yeah, why not start off the year strong by giving us a 5-star review? You could write something nice and say, "You're smart for never going skiing, Monica and
You are
Sydney."
so
And I don't
smart
know
for
about
not
Chelsea.
being ski girls.
This will never happen to you. Don't worry. You don't have to lose sleep over this. 5 stars.
I
5
keep
stars.
my emergency ladder on me at all times.
Ooh.
So
Oh, good, good.
you know how they have them for house fires?
Yeah.
You toss it out the window.
That's smart.
Keep
That's
that
smart.
thing on me.
I keep that thing on me.
Yeah, that or a 5-star rating on Spotify. We would love it. It would make us feel good and sexy to start out the new year. Shouldn't we feel good and sexy?
Don't we deserve it?
Don't we deserve?
We
to feel
deserve
good
it.
and sexy. Anyway, also, why not follow us on social media? We're at spooky_Tuesday on everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we are at Spooky Tuesday Pod. And we're doing Bangarang on YouTube, y'all. We have surpassed 200
What?
subscribers. Shout out to my best friend's boyfriend for being the 200th
Jesse.
subscriber. Jesse, we love you, Jess Lord.
Jess Lord 200.
pretty exciting. But yeah, we're always trying to get closer to monetization, which I think is at 500. So help us fucking get
Help us
there.
out.
We're not that far, but we're not that close either. Be cool to be halfway.
And also, I don't know that we're ready to announce just yet, but we might also have another money-making endeavor that you might also enjoy coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Keep your eyes on this space. Watch this space.
Watch this space.
But yeah, so thank you for listening. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, spookies. Mwah.
Do it.
Yay!
Wow!
Balloon.
Balloon!
Confetti. Yay!
A YouTube exclusive.
I feel like Doodle Bob.
Or what is it? Travis Scott, where he's like, "Wah!"
Well, I
Beautiful.
Don't know. I don't know Travis Scott like that, I guess.
The hospital's only 10 minutes away. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
You're gonna be okay, baby. You're gonna be okay.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Haidt, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamra Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Captain Tamra, and our podcast art is by Mary Murphy, who you can find on Instagram at the_moon_OMG.